Hey guys, Tom here, and today I am doing my review for SmackDown Live for the 6th of August 2016. I apologise that this review is out a little bit late today, but hopefully you guys don't mind that much because I know that you love just to hear me give my opinions on this week's SmackDown Live, and I'm making sure I'm doing it this week. So if you guys can smash that like button and also remember to comment your thoughts down below on this week's SmackDown Live. So let's have a little talk about everything which happened on this week's show. So I actually enjoyed this week's SmackDown Live once again. I really don't think we've had a bad SmackDown Live since the draft. I'm really happy with how consistent the SmackDown Live shows have been. I mean, they have really been very impressive. All the wrestling on these shows are always really entertaining to watch. And once again, I come out of SmackDown Live really feeling happy about the product. So like every show, there's some high points, there's some low points, so we're going to talk about all of them, but overall, I'm going to give this week's SmackDown Live a 7 out of 10. Now, yesterday, I also gave Monday Night Raw a 7 out of 10, and I thought both shows were pretty decent this week, but I don't think either of the shows were better than each other, but it was still a pretty good week for the WWE. So we opened up this week's SmackDown Live with Daniel Bryan in the middle of the ring, and he basically brought out all the women who will be in that six-pack challenge for the WWE Women's Championship, and I didn't realise until today's show that six-pack challenge will be an elimination match, which should be really interesting, because the last time we had an elimination match was in that Monday Night Raw match for the Universal Championship. That Fatal 4-Way elimination match was awesome. So 6 women going into that match for the women's title, and it being elimination, it's going to be really good. But what wasn't good was the opening segment on this week's SmackDown Live. So all the women came out and they talked about why they're going to win the Women's Championship. But for me, I just thought it was a little bit forced. The acting wasn't brilliant. The segment just lacked energy. It just felt a little bit weird for me. It wasn't the greatest way they could have started this week's SmackDown Live. I just didn't think it was very good. It didn't feel special to me at all. It felt a bit flat, and for me, it wasn't a great way to start off this week's show. But that doesn't mean I didn't actually enjoy the women's match, because I thought the women's match on this week's SmackDown Live was awesome. We got Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and Carmella taking on Naomi, Nikki Bella, and Becky Lynch. And this was a really good match. It went on for ages, which is great to see the women getting really long matches on TV nowadays, but this was actually pretty awesome. Every single woman got all their stuff in. I think apart from Naomi, I think every other woman was in the ring for a good 5 minutes. It was really nice to see. The pacing was great. Everybody seems pretty over as well. They're getting all their stuff in. It feels like they're really genuine characters as well, and I'm really enjoying the women's division. And most importantly, Carmella got the win, which is great. She's just come up to the WWE, and for her to get a big win here is really cool to see. So yeah, this was a really good match. Another awesome women's match as well. So what did you guys think about this one? It was one of the best matches on this week's SmackDown Live, and I really enjoyed it. And still, I have no idea who is going to win that women's match at Backlash. I have no idea. This match did not help me at all deciding on who is going to win at Backlash. But to be honest, great match to see, and I really enjoyed it. I think the best match of the night was The Miz taking on Apollo Crews. I like to hear Dolph Ziggler talking throughout it as well. I thought he was really good on commentary. He sounded genuine, and he's just nice to hear. He's nice to see him building up his character for his match against The Miz this Sunday. But this was a really awesome match as well. It's a bit of a shame that Apollo Crews once again takes a big loss to a former champion. So he took a big loss to AJ Styles last week, and he took a big loss to The Miz on this week's SmackDown Live, which isn't good for Apollo Crews, but he really does step up to the plate in these matches. He was really good last week against AJ Styles. I thought that was the best match of SmackDown Live last week, and this week he also has the best match of the week against The Miz. This was absolutely awesome once again from Apollo Crews. He's got lots of energy. This guy is awesome. The Miz, he always turns up. He always has a great match, and I really loved how he won the match. He basically pushed Apollo Crews into Dolph Ziggler, and he wormed his way to the skull-crushing finale and somehow got the win. People hate it, but he plays his character absolutely brilliantly. What a win for The Miz in an absolutely fantastic match. These guys have great chemistry. Their match at SummerSlam wasn't very good, but this one was really good. So I don't know why their match at SummerSlam was so bad. This one was great. Once again, Apollo Crews dances with the best in the ring, and they could do a lot more with Apollo Crews, I reckon, because he has been great since he got drafted to SmackDown Live. Anyway, that was the best match of the night. What did you guys think? I thought it was really good how The Miz got Maurice to step in the ring and get his title back instead of the Miz himself. He's such a worm. He weasels his way into situations, and I absolutely love it. He just plays his character so well. He's so annoying, but he just gets the job done, and I think he's a really good character, and really, he's probably one of the best characters they have on SmackDown Live. So we finally got the Usos turning heel. It turns out the Usos turned heel quicker than Roman Reigns, but this is great because the crowd really have not been into the Usos for, what, months? It might even be a year since anybody really cheered for the Usos, and this is so overdue. I mean, the Usos have been doing nothing for like at least a year now. They got really boring, they got really stale, so switching it up finally is absolutely great. I'm so glad they finally turned heel. And they did it against American Alpha. I thought this was a great match as well. Really nice storytelling. The Usos, they shook American Alpha's hands. You thought it was going to be a nice and friendly match, but it wasn't, because the Usos attacked American Alpha from behind as soon as the ring bell went. But what happened? American Alpha taught them a lesson and they won in about a minute. It was so funny to see. Such a cool moment. So American Alpha make it to the final, which is also pretty cool. So we got a promo from Fandango, who's apparently his friend Tyler Breeze seeking out some silk in Monaco or something. Who gives a crap? But Kane once again returned. I didn't even know he'd left, but apparently he's returned. He chokeslams Fandango, which I thought was cool. I thought, yes, we've got the badass Kane, the monster, is back. But then he did that. And I was like, no, what are you doing? Why did you have to dance? Completely killed his character, completely killed his gimmick. Doesn't make any sense at all. Why did they have to do that? That was so annoying. So, Heath Slater and Rhino qualify for the final on Backlash's pay-per-view for the WWE Tag Team Championships, and they beat the Hype Bros. Once again, this was another solid match on SmackDown Live. I don't think we actually had a bad match on this week's show. That is absolutely crazy. I think we only had 3 matches though, but all of them were pretty decent bouts and I really enjoyed them. So Heath Slater, he didn't actually get the win for his team once again. It's always Rhino doing the dirty business for his team, but it's great to see Heath Slater is really over. It's crazy. People are absolutely loving this gimmick, and I'm pretty enjoying it as well. I don't think they're going to win it on the Backlash pay-per-view though. I think American Alpha are going to win the titles, but it's nice to see. It's a nice little journey we're going on with Heath Slater, and they had all his kids out on the front row, which I thought was pretty funny as well. So yeah, this was a really cool back and forth match. I think the Hype Bros are actually pretty decent as well, and it's nice to see loads of different tag teams really representing lots of different things, and I'm really enjoying every single tag team on the SmackDown Live roster. So the main event, we got a talking segment between Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles. This was pretty short, but it was sweet. It was short and sweet from Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles. I'm still not sure who is going to win this match, but AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose did some good stuff on the microphone here. It could have been a little bit longer, but I thought the best line was when Dean Ambrose said, there's no place for the face which finishes second place. I thought that was so good. The crowd loved it as well. I was laughing at home. That was a great line, and AJ Styles kicked him in the balls and threw the trophy on the floor. I thought this was a pretty good segment. I like how Dean Ambrose gave him that runners-up bowling trophy. That was pretty funny. He was like, yeah, there's no trophy you're getting from me. You can have this for taking part. And he made fun of AJ Styles for having John Cena's armband. It was all good stuff. And AJ Styles, he's just like a spoiled brat, isn't he? He ended up kicking Dean Ambrose in the nuts, and we finished at that point. I thought it was a bit of a weird way to close the show. You would have thought AJ Styles would have hit a Styles Clash or the Phenomenal Forearm. AJ Styles just finished the show just towering above Dean Ambrose, which was a bit of a weird ending to this week's SmackDown Live, but overall, it's going to be a pretty good pay-per-view. We've got a WWE Tag Team Championship match. We've got a women's six-pack elimination match for the Women's Championship. That's going to be great. And Dean Ambrose taking on AJ Styles. I don't think the build towards Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt's match was that good this week. Bray Wyatt had a really long segment backstage, which I honestly did not listen to because I just don't understand half the stuff he's saying and I just get really bored listening to what he's saying. Randy Orton told another pretty similar story backstage as well, which I just thought was pretty boring as well and did nothing for the feud. So I think the build towards that match could have been a hell of a lot better, but that is still going to be a good match at Backlash, so I don't really mind. But I definitely think they could have done a little bit more between these two on this week's SmackDown Live. But overall, we've got some really good matches ready for Backlash. I'm going to be doing my predictions video tomorrow, so watch out for that one. Smash the like, guys. Subscribe for daily WWE videos, and follow me on Twitter. There is a link in the description. Take care. Spike your hair.